My dear students, welcome to our GSS Chemistry channel. Today we are going to discuss a part of chemical reactions and equations belonging to 10th class syllabus. This is lecture number 5. Today our topic is corrosion and rancidity. Corrosion belongs to metals, or rancidity belongs to oils and fats in food material. These two let us discuss. We will consider the simple theory of corrosion and its prevention, but we cannot discuss all the matter of corrosion because that is not prescribed in the syllabus. Just initial stage only we have to learn. What is meant by corrosion? Which is belong to metals. Prior to that, some introduction is needed. Metal cannot be existing freely in nature. In what form they are existing? They are existing in the compound form. Why are they so? Because they are highly reactive. Why are they highly reactive? Because they are containing low number of valence electrons. That is why electropositivity is more, so they are losing the electrons, forming the compounds easily. And so those metals are available in nature in their compound form, like nitrates, sulfates, carbonates, bicarbonates, etc. Where are they available? They are under the earth, in the earth's crust. Those which are available in the earth's crust, all the metal compounds are known as minerals. That mineral from which the metal is extracted, applying all the metallurgical operations and procedures, then you will get the finally metal from it. It may be economically not profitable, then it is mineral only. If that mineral is used to extract the metal profitably and economically, then that mineral is called ore. So every metal will be having its ores in the earth's crust available. After applying all this procedure, the metal is extracted in the pure form. Then, if it is kept in the atmosphere for some time, what happens? It is going back into the compound form from which it is obtained. There is one natural law. Anything comes from nature goes back into the nature. That is the philosophy. So metal is extracted from its ore and it is pure form, and in the environment it will be converted back into its compound form. Conversion of that metal into its compound form is nothing but corrosion. Why is it so happening? Because of the oxidative action on the metal. Most metals will be converted into their oxide forms or sometimes carbonate forms, etc. So here, what is the definition of corrosion? All the metal surface will be gradually deteriorated by the action of the gases present in the atmosphere. That action is nothing but the chemical action. Atmosphere is a part of environment. See, in what way we can define corrosion? See here, corrosion, gradual deterioration of the metal by the chemical action of the environment. In the environment mainly we are considering atmosphere. That is called corrosion. Corrosion is nothing but oxidation of the metal. And so simply you can also call it as oxidative deterioration of the metal. That is also called corrosion. That is the simple definition. Now let us consider some examples. We are seeing them in daily life in corrosion. Particularly rusting of iron. That is the best example. The corrosion software itself is developed for the iron, rusting of iron. Several tons of iron is being wasted per year all over the world. How to protect it? You have to study it well. And so here, rusting of iron is the first example for the deterioration of the metal. The second one is tarnishing of silver. When silver is kept in the atmosphere, after some time the surface will be blackened. That blackening of the silver, losing the bright surface of silver, is nothing but the tarnishing. So tarnishing of silver is another example. Similarly, you can take copper vessel. After some time, you can see the bottom of the vessel will be covered with a green layer, particularly at the corners. Corrosion is mostly developed at the junctions and corners and peaks and etc. Cracks and peaks. At these junctions, corrosion is mostly developed. So at the bottom junction of the vessel, if you take, after some time, a green layer will be developed. The formation of green layer in the copper vessel on copper is nothing but corrosion. So these are the three best examples we can consider at this stage. First, let us consider the rusting of iron, which is more important. When iron is exposed in air, which is containing oxygen and moisture. These are the two conditions required for the corrosion of iron. Dry oxygen plus iron, corrosion does not occur. If it so happens, the corrosion process is very deadly slow. If iron nail is placed in water without oxygen, then also there is no corrosion. These are the two conditions required for the corrosion of iron. And of course, these are present in the atmosphere, air. And so here, iron when exposed to air, oxygen present in the air, moisture present in the air, these will be showing the chemical actions of the air on iron, and they will be converted into iron oxides. Formation of iron oxide over the iron surface is nothing but rust. So rust is formed here. Formation of rust is nothing but the corrosion. Is nothing but corrosion. That is only by the action of oxygen and moisture. If any one of these is absent here, there is no corrosion. And here, the formula that will be present in this iron is Fe plus O2, moisture means H2O. By the combined action of these two on iron, it is converted into rust, for which the formula is given as Fe2O3 XH2O. This is the formula of rust. This is the formula of rust. This is happening here. If any one of these is absent, there is no rust at all. If iron is exposed to air containing moisture here, then there will be formation of the rust. That rust is nothing but the corrosion. Gradually, if it is left alone, after years together, if you leave it iron in the atmosphere, the whole iron will be completely corroded, and it will be converted into powder, which will be dropped down, and there is no iron at all. That is only in the form of iron oxides. So this is the first point you have to consider. Rusting is nothing but iron. So rusting of iron is this way. Rust formula is this one. Similarly, you can take silver. Tarnishing of silver. This is the first one. Second one, tarnishing of silver. What is meant by tarnishing here? Blackening the surface of silver. Silver is exposed here, and we will be having, so of course, iron solid, rust is also solid, Ag is solid, you can write or you need not write. When exposed to air, in air, several gases are present in the air, out of which one is hydrogen sulfide, which is mainly causing the corrosion of silver here. H2S is present and moisture also. H2S and moisture present in the air will be causing the blackening of silver. That is due to the formation of Ag2S. This is what you call silver sulfide. Silver sulfide. Okay. So, in the presence of this, Ag is converted into Ag2S. Silver sulfide is black in color. And thereby, As the blackening of silver is taking place, that is nothing but the tarnishing. So, tarnishing of silver is due to the formation of Ag2S. Okay? That is about the tarnishing of silver is due to the formation of Ag2S. And these are the two requirements needed. Next one we can take here. Third one, formation of green layer and copper. Why is it so? Copper, solid. Of course, this is also solid. When exposed to air, which contains carbon dioxide, which contains moisture also. The carbon dioxide and moisture present in air will be causing the corrosion of this copper, and copper will be converted into basic copper carbonate. Basic copper carbonate. The formula is CuCO3 dot CuOH twice. This is the basic copper carbonate, which is green in color. Which is green in color. And so, due to the formation of basic copper carbonate on copper, copper surface is turned to green. This is also a corrosion. In this way, all these corrosions will be taking place on the metals. How it can be avoided? How it can be avoided? That means you have to now study the preventive methods. Prevention of corrosion. You have to now study prevention of corrosion. There are several methods. You have to study them. Prevention of corrosion. Meanwhile, please note it. Now let us consider the prevention of corrosion. By applying a paint on the surface of the metal, oxygen will not be allowed to enter into the chemical combination with metal, and so corrosion can be prevented. Or by applying greasing, by grease or oiling, these also help up to some extent. As long as the grease is present, as long as the oil is present, corrosion doesn't take place. When these are removed, corrosion starts once again. So it is better to have the painting on, in particular, iron sheets or iron bars, etc. That protects iron to a great extent, and iron will be safe for several more years. And in particular, iron can be coated with zinc metal, or iron can be coated with tin metal. Both are protective. But when iron is coated with zinc metal, then that is called galvanization. Galvanization means applying zinc coating on iron sheet. And this galvanization is also called sacrificial corrosion. This is what you call sacrificial corrosion. Why is it sacrificial corrosion? Let us know some reason here. I am now taking a iron bar. This is iron bar. Like this. This is iron bar, which is coated with zinc. Let us suppose that this is the zinc layer. As long as this zinc layer is present, as long as this zinc layer is present, nothing happens here for iron. Iron will be safe. Oxygen cannot be penetrated through zinc layer, so it cannot combine with iron. Okay. Whenever a scratch is formed like this, a scratch, this is what you call a scratch, is formed. Automatically this iron will be exposed to air. When iron is exposed to air, there the corrosion starts. When once the corrosion is started and that corrosion spreads all through the metal, and the inner iron metal will be completely converted into rust, Fe2 with XH2O. It is a powder. Then what is the shape? Here, even though scratch is formed, zinc layer is removed there, even though iron is focused directly, nothing happens to iron. It will be on safe side. It does not undergo corrosion. Why? Because zinc is more reactive. Zinc is more reactive than iron. Zinc is more reactive than iron. So what happens here? In the place of iron, zinc will be corroded. The zinc metal surface which is present there as a layer will be corroded. Zinc will be corroded. So that is why it is called sacrificial corrosion. On the other hand, if you take, for example, tin layer, tin coating can also be given. SN, tin coating, can also be given in the place of zinc. That cannot be called galvanization. Tin coating just. But this is not as much advantageous as zinc coating. Why is it so? If at all scratch is formed, it is the iron which is subjected to corrosion but not tin, because the iron is more reactive than tin. Tin will not be undergoing any corrosion. So iron will be subject to corrosion. Inner iron is not at all on safe side. And so zinc coating is more advantageous, more preferable than tin coating. So tin coating is not preferable when compared to the zinc coating. Okay, that is about painting, oiling and greasing, particularly galvanization. Second wonderful thing is alloying. What is meant by alloying? A metal is mixed with another metal. They are combined, mixed, they are melted, and that liquid so obtained is cooled so that a solid substance is obtained. The solid so obtained is called alloy. Alloy is a combination of two or more metals. The only alloy which contains a non-metal is iron. Iron always contains small percentage of carbon also. Carbon is a non-metal. So every iron will be containing small amount of carbon. That is special case, of course. And here alloying means metal plus metal converted into alloy. Alloy never undergoes any type of corrosion. It is safe. At the same time, the properties of alloy are more advantageous than the properties of individual metals present there. That is why instead of metal, it can be used in the form of alloy. It can be used for many purposes. You can take, for example, brass and bronze, well-known terms. Brass is the combination of copper and zinc, which can be used to prepare utensils. And bronze is a combination of copper and tin, which can be used particularly in the preparation of bells. This is what we call bell metal. And in particular iron, that is more important for us. What about iron? Iron can be converted into safe side by converting it into stainless steel. Stainless steel means along with iron, which is containing small amount of carbon, small amount of nickel, small amount of chromium will be added, melted together and then resolidified, and you will get the iron. That is what you call stainless steel. Stainless steel never undergoes corrosion. Stainless steel never undergoes corrosion. But stainless steel is costly. Every iron is replaced by stainless steel. Production is more. Iron will be on safe side, but this is a costly process. So in generally we will apply zinc coating in order to protect it for several more years. So anyhow, stainless steel is the number one iron because it never undergoes corrosion. Okay, these are the various ways you can adapt in order to protect the metal from corrosion. Okay, please note it. Next we have to consider rancidity. Okay. ఇంకొక పావుగంట ఇసిరేస్తుంది ఏమో ఏదో చెప్పాలి మా తప్ప చెప్తున్నాం ఇంకా పుస్తకాలు తిరిగాడు. The second one is rancidity belonging to oils and fats. Generally, if we are preparing the food material, we will use oil and fats. Without using them, general food material, generally they are not prepared, which are used for eating purpose. When they are kept for a long time and exposed to air, you see some bad smell is emitted from it. Taste is also completely spoiled. So they cannot be used. That spoiling character of oils and fats in food material is only due to oxidation, and that is nothing but rancidity. So what is the definition of rancid now we can tell? Oxidation of oils and fats present in food material to produce unpleasant smell and taste, that is called rancidity. So that is why whenever you are using food, preparing food material and you have to use it for 2 or 3 days or for a long time, then you have to take certain precautions. What are those precautions? Preventive methods. What are those preventive methods in order to avoid this rancidity? One is by adding antioxidants. Rancidation is nothing but the oxidation process. Oxygen is reacting with oils and fats and will be converted into other compounds which are producing bad smell. And the antioxidant is that one which opposes the oxidation process. And so when you add antioxidants to the food material containing oils and fats, oxidation doesn't take place. And those antioxidants are nothing but vitamin C, which will be sour in taste, and also you can use vitamin E. These antioxidants can be added to preserve the food for long time. Next one, by storing them in the airtight containers. You can take any food material containing oil and fat or any pickle that can be stored in the vessels. Airtight lids will be there. Oxygen will not be allowed to enter. And those pickles which are stored in airtight containers can be used for long time. In that way they can be preserved by keeping them in airtight containers, particularly pickles. And by keeping them in refrigerator, you are preparing food material. After 2 days or 3 days, you can reutilize it by keeping them in the refrigerator. Where the air will not be allowed, of course there will be cold gas which will be rotating, which will be circulating in the fridge. The material will be kept cold, oxygen will not be allowed. Whenever the door is opened, oxygen will be allowed. Some spoiling character will be there. Anyhow, for 2 or 3 days, the material can be kept fresh and there will be no rancidity. So by keeping them in the refrigerator, which slows down the oxidative process. So that is more advantageous. But this is temporary, but for a long time. And you are taking potato chips in sealed paper covers. When it is packed in sealed cover, there is no entrance for the oxygen, so the food material is not spoiled. If that packing of the food material like potato chips is taking place along with nitrogen, in the presence of nitrogen gas, if you seal them, pack them, nitrogen gas never makes the food material unused. It can be used for a long time. Why is it so? Nitrogen is inert gas. It never reacts. The inertness of nitrogen makes the food material to be preserved. So when the packing is taking place along with nitrogen gas, like potato chips for a long time, for a long time that can be utilized. When once the seal is opened, you have to utilize immediately because air will be entering and within 1 or 2 days once again spoiling act will be there. That is nothing but the rancidity. And so in this way we can define the rancidity and what are the preventive steps, the steps that are taken. These are all preventive steps. Okay. So this is about corrosion and rancidity in the 10th class chemical reactions and equation chapter. One more remains balancing. What is the information that are going to get from the balanced equation that you have to study in the next lecture, part number 6. Okay, okay. Please note it. Thank you very much for your kind watching of my video lecture. Thank you.